5, 4, 2, 1. Good morning, Lonnie here from the LB Hour. I'm the L, he's the B, and that's Brian over there in K-Town. How are you, buddy?
Good.
Yeah. Have yourself a wild weekend, did you?
Not bad. I watched a really interesting documentary with you.
Oh yeah, I got to watch that as well. So we can talk about that in a few minutes. Actually, that's anybody out there in TV land, whatever, gets a chance to watch it. What's that called?
Well, it's about the Hotel Cecil.
Hotel Cecil. That is actually, we'll get to that in a few minutes here. I got another questions in regards to that, but yeah, that was quite interesting. Quite interesting. It's all about, well, let's talk about it now, I guess. Actually, the Hotel Cecil is actually, it's god awful is what it is. It's very, very sad. The show was great. Of course, you notice in the small fine print, one of the directors is Ron Howard, by the way. So
I think he's one of the producers. Him and
producers.
Brian Grazer, that's his partner. They've done movies for a long time.
Yeah, well, they did a good job on this, and it's very it makes you just, just basically makes you go gross and sad, and I don't know. Tell me about the way you thought about that show.
Well, it was
it's not, we're not done watching it, by the way.
Yeah, it was built in 1924, and it was like a pretty grand hotel in downtown LA, and then it devolved into like the seediest hotel ever, and then 80 deaths there in the last
year. Over 80 deaths at the Hotel Cecil. That is something I didn't know. So the stories all revolves around a young gal named Elisa Lam, right? Yeah. Elisa Lam, if you haven't seen it, she is the little Asian gal or Chinese gal that was in an elevator. It was stuck and it wasn't going anywhere, and she did some weird hand motions and leg motions and walked a little weird, very, very weird. And next thing you know, she went missing during that whole thing. They found her a few weeks later in the hotel's water tank.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about a seedy place. That water was disgusting.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was a couple from England that had been drinking the water, and she said she'd never forget it. It'll haunt her the rest of her life.
Yeah, well, it's going to haunt me thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so bad. That movie is, movies is real, so you can't do anything about it. That's the one thing about movies and stories. It's like, often with I can't remember who it was it Mark Twain? I think it was Mark Twain who said, fiction has boundaries. Reality does not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to stay within certain guidelines. Well, this is real. This is what happened, and the young gal got somehow into this water tank, and they found her a few weeks later. And it had a heavy lid on it. You had to, and it was closed, and it's really. The more you're watching the show, it's kind of like the Tiger. If you watch the Tiger King, if you watch Tiger King, you realize every time you watch, you go, "Oh, it gets worse and worse and worse." And in actuality, it's still good, but it drags you in farther and farther because you realize there's more to the story. There's way more to the story. There's way more to that story, and this is the same way. It literally just
Well, she was just traveling. She had left British Columbia she was 21, college student, was just going for an adventure with San Diego, then LA, and ended up in the Cecil Hotel. She was into that Tumblr. I don't know much about it, but it's like a discussion group or something.
Yeah, I don't know much about Tumblr. I've never did Tumblr. I did the Twitter a little bit. I don't like around here. We're in a small town, so almost. Twitter doesn't make sense. When we're on a national scale, it'll be easy to do, but
national. Same with Instagram. You can do Instagram national and not even have local friends, just to reach out and meet new people.
Yeah, that's not a bad way to do it if you want to grow a personality or grow a persona, I should say.
Yeah. If you had a business or something too that
Yeah.
you do it online, you can do it nationally, not even have it done in the local area. Because it's
Yeah.
tough in the local area. The local area is tougher. Your own hometown's tougher to impress than the world.
Well, they say this place is run by not an Illuminati, but it's a good old boys network.
Yeah.
And I will agree on a lot of levels that this area is a good old boys network because it's a small town, and you kind of have to either have been born here or know somebody who's been born here, or to work your way in. They've got to help you, and that's one of the things that I have helped do in this area that we live here is I help people kind of gravitate into the networking system of the community because I've been around here for a while. Apparently, I'm old. I think I'm not old, but that's what they say. So either way, it's not a bad thing to be part of the good old boys when they trust you. When you got a good old name. But yeah. So that movie, right? That show, that Cecil Hotel. That is a great scary flick. Or, not scary. It's just very. We talked about.
Creepy. It's very creepy.
It is creepy, very creepy, and that was a thing yesterday. We talked about what movies do we find disturbing or that left us kind of in awe, and that one currently is doing that because we're watching that show. It's on Netflix, and I suggest checking it out if you've got if you're not, don't let things bug you too badly, and it's a reality show. It's true, so
Oh yeah. It's just it's not just that event though, because so much other stuff.
Oh yeah, no.
Through the years, the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, stayed there. We won't even tell you what happened there, but that's
Yeah, so that's the thing is that hotel, which by the way has changed its name to the Stay on Main.
Oh, has it officially changed?
Well, part of it has. It's like there's like two different parts to it actually.
Well, here's a shot of it. It's called Crime Scene Vanishment at the Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel. It's not a very clear picture, but
Oh yeah.
and this is the lady you didn't like.
Well, that's the lady who's the she's the manager, and I mean, it's not I don't like her. I feel like she may have gone there with great intentions originally, however many years ago, and she was there for 10 years, I think. So 10 years ago.
And
She was
there's
there
Lisa Lamb herself, and she was in the elevator, and she was acting scared, and maybe
That was the last.
that was really
That was the
weird.
last that anybody's seen of her. Yeah.
Oh, and possibly 53 seconds were cut from the security video, so there's always that controversy.
Yeah, we haven't got to that part of it yet, I think, but that's I'm like, what in God's green earth happened to that girl? So, I mean, I know it happened, obviously, but how did it happen? I don't know. I hope they figured it out because it's driving me crazy too.
It's a really
I mean,
well done documentary too.
Yeah, well, I watched it when it originally happened. I thought something was weird. Something was amiss with it for certain. But now they have all these celebrities, not celebrity, but cyber sleuths,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, the cyber sleuths.
Yes,
Cyber sleuths.
exactly.
Yeah, they've been figuring it out, helping the cops a little bit here and there. And
Yeah. And the cop said sometimes it hurts them, slows them down, but other times a really good lead comes in that helps. Here's what it apparently looks like now, called, like you said, part of it is Stay on Main, because they had some legal jurisdiction or law.
Don't go there, folks. I don't recommend going there. That's it.
Well, they tried to fix it up about 20 years ago, but they had some ordinances in LA. So a lot of it had to remain kind of a seedy hotel. But down below, they created that Stay on Main.
Well, it's right next to what's that road, that street with all the homeless.
Oh, it's Skid Row.
Skid Row, yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
So,
at
but,
one time,
you know,
700 rooms at one time. It's crazy.
Yep. Yeah. So I don't know. You can do what you want, folks. But I recommend not going to that myself in particular.
I
because
recommend especially in big cities, don't drink the tap water, whatever you do. I don't think.
Yeah. Actually, I hate water from hotels regardless.
Yeah, I don't
That's
either.
like
I do
it's
too.
like something I try not to do because that water is it's feels like it's been through. I mean, I'll be quiet. I'll make no bad jokes. It's been through lots of pipes,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, nah, nope, not trusting it. Just tastes like metal to me.
Yeah,
So,
I'll drink my tap water at home, but not in hotels, not in other places.
yeah, there's
You just
nobody in my
wow,
bless you. I know there's nobody in my water tank, so we're good. Yeah.
that scares people now if you sneeze in public. I'm glad I did it here. There's nobody else here. But
I know. I got.
now I can't have visitors for 24 hours because I sneezed in my own house. I think that's one of the rules.
It's one of the rules now. Yep. Well,
phase two, phase two.
I got a text from Paul. Paul Maurer, the great Paul Maurer. I got a text from him the other day, last night at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it said, "What did it say? Hate to pour salt in the wound, but." So then I thought, oh no, he was coughing up a storm. He's gonna tell me he has COVID,
Yeah.
And actually, this is what he sent me.
What is it?
It
You got
is.
the license?
It says, very sorry, but your password must contain at least 8 characters. It says at least 8 characters in lowercase letter, a symbol or number or hieroglyph, a haiku, a musical note, a feather of a hawk, and a drop of a unicorn blood. We know we've had problems with my passwords here on
Oh yeah.
Facebook and stuff, so I'm pretty much over it. I'm just gonna.
We should get Ron Howard to do a documentary because it's kind of like the Cecil Hotel. You're just sucked in.
Oh yeah, it's just it's a downward spiral, man. It's just like you gravitate to a black hole and you're gonna get sucked in that there's no way you can't get out of it.
Well, the hotel manager who you didn't care for and I was very skeptical of, it was really weird. She went to LA, no experience in hotels, and her first job apparently, the general manager of the hotel, which is kind of cool in a way, but it's also kind of scary.
General manager of a 700 room hotel. I'm telling you now, I'm very good friends with a gal who ran a hotel here for quite a long time, and they probably have. I don't know how many hotels that the Monticello here had. How many they have?
They gotta have maybe 100, maybe not even that.
And it was a lot of work for that girl. I mean, it was.
She was
on 24 hours a day.
Yeah, a person could do that maybe if they had no real hotel experience but knew how to manage things. But 700, my gosh, that's
amazing. No, yeah. So the maintenance person showed her when the first person died when she got there. The maintenance person showed her. She walked in the hallway. Oh, someone died there. Someone died there. Someone died there. It was just horrible.
Yeah, and you're talking about the Cecil Hotel, not the girl at the Monticello.
Yeah, Cecil Hotel.
Nobody showed her where everybody died. Now there was a story, a legend in the Monticello that somebody got in the freezer in the basement who worked there in the 1920s and died, so that it's haunted. So we lost you there, but
I saw something outside.
That story about the Monticello in the down below in the cellar or whatever. A guy got stuck in the freezer down there over the weekend and died in 1920s, and so it's haunted.
Is there a cellar down there?
There's some. Oh yeah, and there's tunnels and all that.
I know there's tunnels. Yeah, you're right. So it should be a cellar, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, speaking of TV shows, what I was going to ask you was, before we get to that part, I have questions for you. Of course, I always do. So,
I want to say one more thing about Cecil Hotel.
Sure.
They were talking about how it's haunted, but it's actually haunted by living demons, basically. Some of the people that go there.
Yeah, no, it's definitely haunted. I would say by an evil spirit of some sort. And that's a lot of deaths and a lot of evil. Lot of dreams have gone there to die, as she said.
That's what the manager said. Actually, that was a good quote from her.
Mm-hmm. She said she didn't like it when somebody told her that, but it was true. It was
well, and her dream died too. I think she got out of that field.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so, dude. I mean, that many people die, you either have gone off to war or you go into the jail asylum yourself. I think just that's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
It's a lot of pain.
highly recommend that. I would say the
Yeah.
crime scene, The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel, and it's like what, 8 parts or something. We're on part 3. It's a full season.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was. I thought it was like one TV show or a movie. I started watching. I was like, oh my gosh! And as it kept going and going, I was amazed by it.
Yeah. And it says it's from the creator of the Ted Bundy tapes, a dive into crime's darkest places. I'm gonna skip that one. I don't want to go that deep.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, no,
This-
I am.
It's a fascinating documentary. And
It really is. But it's just disturbing. Poor Elisa Lamb and her family.
yeah, just was
Yeah,
going
God
on
bless
an
'em.
adventure, wanted to get out of her comfort zone and meet some people.
Yeah, she wanted to grow up, and unfortunately, she had to come to a dark end. Not good.
Yeah. Well, I tell anybody who's traveling, if you want to go to LA, go to the smaller towns, the Burbanks, Glendales. Don't go into downtown LA. That's scary. There's like 60,000 homeless people. A lot
Right.
of crime.
60,000 homeless people. That is nuts. And
Yeah.
we think our 200 people here are bad. And it's not even that 100. Yeah, it's probably 200 here now, probably, but 150. But yeah. Per capita, we're not that bad actually. And they seem to be staying in their own little locations at like the
Yeah,
Alabama's place here. Kelso, of course, doesn't allow homelessness,
no.
which is kind of funny because I don't know how it's possible, but they just don't have services.
What they do is if somebody's homeless, they help them get somewhere. That they do that. I've seen the
They do to Longview. You're right.
Well, sometimes they'll even try to find out if they have a family member. I've seen the police around here, and they're pretty kind to the homeless, at least what I've seen. And I've seen situations where they didn't know I was there, so I was seeing real behavior. So I think we have a good police force, is what it is. So
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the Longview's got a great police force too.
Yeah.
I just think that something happened in the process of all this litigation and legal stuff a couple years back where
yeah,
the local, oh, we don't need to go there right now, but yeah.
Yeah.
The homeless situation got worse and worse in Longview, got better in Kelso, so.
but neither one compete with LA, which has the population of both our towns.
66,000, yeah,
Yeah.
that's our whole city being homeless, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's a scary city, and for that girl to go to that hotel, but she didn't know. It's like you go online and they say a fine hotel, stay on Main or whatever. and-
Right, sounds good, and they just updated all their stuff to make it look better, yeah. Well, my question for you, I have 3 questions, that was one. Well, what your favorite books?
Oh, okay. Well, I like a lot of books, but one we
Give me
share.
two of your favorite books.
Oh, 2, I would say To Kill a Mockingbird is incredible. Then I go back and forth on these. I'm gonna go with a John Steinbeck. I think his last book was called Travels with Charlie. And he wrote these great fiction books, but this one's about him and his dog going on a cross-country tour late in life.
What was it called? A Boy and His Dog?
Travels with Charlie. He had a little dog, Charlie, and I guess a van or something, and he just drove around the country.
That's funny.
Yeah, and he was already a famous author. He had written Of Mice and Men and Grapes of Wrath, and he just wanted to enjoy it. It was a travel log.
Our artist who played Friday night at the Friday Night Live, Jennifer Johnson, she has little dogs, as we know, and she's got a vehicle named Charlie that she drives around and stays
That
in
has
quite
something to
often.
do with that.
The van says named Charlie, yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Tom Green drove around in a van for 4 months, and his dog's named Charlie, so he knows about that book. But we
I was
have
thinking about as far as recommendations. So let's just go with the recommendations.
Travels
your
with
favorite
Charlie.
ones. Troubles with Charlie.
Travels with Charlie and
Travels.
Mockingbird.
Okay, and I am going to say, I may have before, I'm not quite sure. I, of course, am a huge To Kill a Mockingbird fan, my favorite, but I will say a recommendation for The Art of War by Sun Tzu.
Oh, okay.
It's been around since 1800. No, excuse me. It's like 808 AD, I think it is, or I have to look at the date on that again. The Art of War by Sun Tzu it's so old, but it's not just about war. It's not about war. It's about life. It's about sales. It's about just excellence and how to do certain things. So I highly recommend it. The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And
Yeah. And Johnny Cash wrote a song about him.
He did?
Yeah, Boy Named Zoo.
A Boy Named Zoo. That's right. There you
Send
go.
that to your cousin Mike. He'll love that.
There you go. Yeah, but I think Mike is.
That joke wasn't for me, my audience. That was for Mike. He loves it.
Well, that's actually really good, but I think
Well,
I don't know if he.
What's funny about Mike is there's times in conversations I'm afraid to say certain words knowing he's going to go down that pun rabbit hole.
What pun rabbit hole? I just know what hole you're talking about.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No, that's
You watch your words carefully with a punster.
no, and he is a punster.
Yeah, he's the highest level I've seen. Every sentence, even when he's serious.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out when, in particular, the Art of War came out. It's got to be like 500 AD, I think, or something like that. But I'm trying to find out.
I'll look that up. I know it was a Wednesday, but I don't know what year.
It was a Wednesday of.
It was a Wednesday.
6th century.
6th century AD.
Well, I thought it was. It says here. It says.
Was it BC?
Why doesn't it? Wikipedia. There we go. There you go. Wikipedia gives it. 500 BC.
Oh, 500 BC. So, wow.
Yeah.
2,500 years ago. That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's weird because it makes sense today. It makes sense every day. It's like just it's a train of thought is what it is. The philosophy, and that's the Art of War by Sun Tzu.
Oh, yeah. And it could even be conversations, negotiations, and war with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, 100% negotiations. You know, that's the one thing about I thought our last president, Donald Trump, he supposedly wrote this book called The Art of the Deal. And I'll tell you what, it's actually The Art of War, but written in a modern.
You got to give him credit. That's a good book. Now, whether he wrote it or not, he says he did. I says he did. The book itself, very interesting.
It was good. By the way, I switched to decaf, not decaf. I switched to tea today, actually.
Wow.
My coffee machine broke, as you heard last night. I think it broke all the way. I'm not 100% certain, but
yeah, I think I might have broke it. I doubled the usage. So.
Doubled the usage.
Yeah, I started coming in and having more coffee. You were sitting.
Oh, yeah. Like I'll buy this one and it'll last forever. Brian comes over and in a week it's burned out all of its little sensors, but that's okay.
You might want to join the old pot of coffee world, and you may not like this, but if you have a coffee, it's been the pot's cold. It's been 6 hours. That coffee's better.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I had it for a long time. Yeah, I've had both. I just happen to once you go Keurig, it's hard to go Keurig, or whatever.
Yeah, Keurig, you have to drink it right when you get it. But a pot of coffee sitting there, and man, it gets rich as it just kind of, I don't know what happens, but
it soaks in the flavors. It definitely does. I mean,
now where I used to work, though, they didn't like that. I would come in the next day and have a cup out of the previous day's cup, and the gals didn't like it. They couldn't.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Some people just think it's disgusting, but I'm like, although I have, drank coffee out of the filter before, heated up, and then realized there was moldy coffee in there.
Well, that's
pretty gross.
One day.
That's pretty gross, but yeah, I've seen that before. I was like, oh, God. I know. Okay, so your recommendations on a book right now are, you said To Kill a Mockingbird,
Charlie, and To Kill a Mockingbird.
Charlie. Well, good. Yeah, those are both great. That's nice to hear. And now also, what are your favorite, or not favorites, recommendations on a movie right now? Well, recommendation of a show you already have, where you just recommended the Hotel Cecil. So
I would say take a step back into the mid 80s and watch Cobra. That's what I'm planning to do. I haven't watched it in years. It's one of my favorite movies. It's not a good movie. It's not
Ha, ha, ha.
it's a
At least you
fun,
admit to it. You say it's not a good movie.
fun movie though. It's yeah, it's just action, adventure, and some of the worst lines.
Come on, pig.
Yeah.
You want to die with me, pig?
Yeah,
So he says.
crime is a disease, and I'm the cure. That's good. That's really
Arnold
good.
Schwarzenegger. Yeah, crime is a disease, not the
Salute.
cure. That's when he's very slow on the cure.
Yeah, and then he had a couple good lines in there, and it was Marion Cobretti. That was his name, Marion. That was the
Oh, Marion Cobretti. He drove it. That was a tough car, though, man. He had a cool car.
well, in real life, that car got stolen from Stallone out of his garage years ago, and he just got it back recently. Saw it in an auction that night.
You mean
That 50 Merc? He got it after the movie. It was his, and that was his. So he owned that movie pretty much. So he takes the thing home, and it gets stolen out of his garage like 25 years ago. He got it back a few years back. Saw it in an auction.
just recently he saw that car?
He got it back, I think, in 2012 or something. He was like, hey, that car in the auction is my 50 Merc from Cobra. He got it back. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I wonder how he got that. I mean, I wonder how it came about.
He
People
just
always
saw it
amaze
on
me.
an auction. He goes, that's my car. There's only one like that. There were 4 on the set, but they were not the full ones. There was only one that was the Cobra car that Stallone kept.
Well, I'll tell you, folks, that's actually a pretty cool car. I mean,
Oh.
that's probably my favorite part of the whole movie is his car. You know,
Yeah.
he spins that sideways or something down the road there, and it's just like, wow, that's what a Cobra is. Now I know. You know.
Yeah, they had one. I was on the set one day, and they had one version of it where the windshield or the back window was shot out. It was wild.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I meant to.
So Cobra, watch Cobra.
Yeah, no.
Bad writing and just great adventure.
Yeah, well, it is. It's bad writing and great adventure, and a guy from Longview's in it actually.
Yeah, and it's 84 minutes long, so an hour and 24.
Yeah, so the
Worst
main
movies
villain inside the movie Cobra is a local guy. He from Longview, Washington. His name is Brian Thompson.
Yeah, and it's also got Poppy from Seinfeld. He plays Stallone's partner. Remember Poppy, the Italian cook that didn't wash his hands in Seinfeld? He was in about 10 episodes. You'd know him if you saw him.
I'm sure if I saw him, I recognize him. But yeah.
Can't be in the elite Seinfeld group if you don't know Poppy, though.
Oh, I know. I've seen every Seinfeld episode. I'm at least 5 times probably throughout my life because I'm a huge Seinfeld fan. But I just don't recognize everybody's name all the time.
Yeah, he peed on Jerry's couch in one.
Oh. Okay, now I have to look into this later on, but
I look into Poppy. Elaine got in a fight with him because of the abortion issue arguments. It was funny. He was in a bunch of episodes. He didn't wash his hands though, and Jerry never wanted to eat there again because he was in the bathroom.
I remember the situation, but I remember the situation, but not the person.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He just passed away this last year, I believe.
Well, but our guy from Longview, Washington, Brian Thompson, very talented.
Yes.
He's still alive, I do believe. He's still doing well. I hope. His teacher was actually, or his father was my teacher in high school, so that's cool. You know, Bert Scuba Thompson was pretty cool. I mean, he's just a nice man. He was he's funny, and he kept me on my toes.
Yeah, I heard he was a really good teacher.
Yeah, he was. He was actually a very friendly guy, and he didn't have to be I don't know. I was kind of a jackass a lot of times, and he kept me on my toes, and him and I got along really well. So that was the cool part about that was that some teachers, you know, they don't give a shit. Some people don't take a shit, though they don't care. But he did care, and he kept me educated and in the game. So that's really cool.
Yeah, that is good. I like that. Well, here's a shot of Poppy. You'll remember him, Poppy, when he was young. Poppy, right there. Remember Kramer worked?
Oh yeah. But yeah, I remember Poppy. Yeah, for sure.
Peed on the couch.
And pee on the couch. Yeah, that's hilarious. That's
He was
hilarious. That's horrible.
Yeah,
Um,
that's it. Meeting him and having lunch and eating with him is one of my greatest memories. On the
really?
over, I got to sit right next to him, and he talked. Man, he was so cool. I felt like we were old buddies. It was really weird. He was so, how some people are just good people.
Yeah,
This guy was a good guy.
yeah. So he passed away, huh?
Yeah, he passed away. I think this last year, 2020. But he was pretty old. He was a good
Oh,
He was in his 80s, I believe.
yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, he was a friendly guy. I remember him in many different things. It seems like he'd pop up here and there, and I'll end up being called Poppy. I recognize him now. Yeah, for certain. So as far as recommendations of shows, you recommend the Cecil Hotel,
Yes.
the Cobra for the movie, and the book is the Wandering with Charlie, right?
Travels with Charlie. That'll be the main one. Let's try that. Travels with Charlie by John Steinbeck.
John Steinbeck.
Yeah.
And of course, he's made some amazing other books and stories throughout the years. He's made Of Mice and Men, Grapes of Wrath,
Cannery Row is a good one. He has
Cannery Row. There you go. Yeah, so that's pretty good. So, a question for you, Brian. Okay, so if you were to write a book right now, what would you write a book about?
Well, I'm writing a book right now. I'm about 90% done. So,
and what book are you going to be writing about?
It's called Longview ? And its subtitle is Big Trouble in Little Chicago. And it's about a 1923 uprising in a small town as a planned city is being built across the river.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it's got the mob. It's got Chicago ties, real Chicago, little Chicago. It's got murder, mayhem. It's got a beautiful love story. It's the hardest thing I've ever done.
I love that murder, mayhem, and all that stuff you got.
Oh, yeah.
It's got now, how far are you into that?
Well, I've written the whole story. Now I'm going through and just revising little things and then finding sentences that just suck and redoing them. And, just adjusting things, because I'll get into something and go, man, that was 5 pages about this conversation. That's a little much. Let's break this up. It's hard.
Right.
And then the characters are really awesome. I got this guy, Freddie. He was disabled in the war and previously had some issues. So they all think he's dumb. And he saw an incident in the war that haunted him. And he's back, but he's kind of the kindly janitor. And he's the most fun character ever. They think he's disabled and slow, and he's really a guy that just knows how to pay attention and listen and say very little.
Well, that's pretty cool. No, that sounds.
It's fun.
Yeah. So that's great. You've got that book going on. You're working on it for a while. You've really put a lot of time, effort, and love into that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I started the book a while back myself.
Well,
I started a book a while back that I've not gotten back to, but.
Yeah. Well, one more thing on that. The
Sure.
research kind of brought me into the rabbit hole, as they say. I had just so much research about the 20s. It's probably taken twice as long as it should to do the book, but that's okay. Yeah, your book is exciting. It's up and coming.
I need to get back to it. I really do. I'm like, I get lost in my own words, but it's actually called Chef, and it's Recipe for Success in Life, Leadership, and Public Speaking. Okay, I'll have to stay home for the next week.
So like CH, bless you.
CHEF, Chef. It says recipes for life, recipes for success in life, leadership, and public speaking.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I really like that because it's like you're cooking up a skill.
Yeah. Well, the chef is always the one who designs the meal and how it will be eaten and digested. So therefore, if he or she runs the show, the chef does.
Yeah.
And if you're having an event, group, or a speech coming up, you want to be in control of what you say and what you are serving. Basically, that's what this whole book's about.
That's really good, because if you go to a good restaurant, you want that chef to be in control and know what he's doing, and he can do anything that he needs to do within a certain realm. You want confidence in him. That's good. But it seems like it's a recipe for your life.
It is, but it's a recipe for life, and just a lot of people have a problem with talking in public, and that's why we're getting back here to speak on the show here and stuff. Because speaking with confidence, and no matter what you're talking about, you can hear me talk about poop, and I don't want to talk about that, but I gotta do what I gotta do. And it doesn't matter. I have no fear in regards to it. You know what I mean? And that's the whole purpose of when you're talking about something in public, you have to make sure that certain things are everybody will accept it, what you say. You have to
Yeah.
find the common denominator with everybody, because you know what? Everybody poops. Gross. I know. I hate to even say that stuff. I hate to bring it up. It's like makes my when I hear certain words, my head just cringes. It's like, oh, why? But it's like the word cancer. And the moment I say that, the word cancer, everybody thinks of something negative. You know what I mean? You bring that friggin' elevated fun time down a notch right
yeah.
there, because everybody, but you bring everyone down to this common denominator of where everybody understands. Everybody understands this pandemic. Well, they might be all over the place, but there's still there's this zone. There's people who are totally susceptible and people who are already vaccinated, and there's this whole little range of people who don't want to even want to believe in it still. It's a weird thing, but it's something that we're all going through. So trying to find that common ground on how you speak, that's what we do with the chef. So everybody's palate will enjoy it.
What I like too is that it addresses what is a lot of people's biggest fear, which is public speaking.
Yes, it is.
If they get over that, then they can use your techniques and everything in a lot of situations, because you realize you're public speaking even at a store when you order something, or a restaurant. Yep. You're in the public. And
reminds me of the way you said that right there. It made me think of Police Academy and the little gal who said,
"Oh yeah,
talk like this." Yeah, what was her name? I can't remember her name.
She was
talk like this, and all of a sudden she gets some bullhorn. She's like,
that was awesome.
Yeah, she was great. But that's how you feel in life when you can't talk in public. You're like, excuse me, I don't want to be rude, but can you hear what I'm saying? I need to tell you something, right? No,
yeah,
you just gotta, be fearless, and you just got, it's like being with a girl, not a girl, not being with them, but I mean, if you want to kiss a girl your first time, you're never going to happen unless you do it. It's sad, but nobody ever lets you says, hey, you know what, by the way, what do you think about us scheduling a time we can try this first kiss? No, you just, excuse me, pardon me. Yeah, there we go. Done. Not easy. And if they're not receptacle on the whole thing, then you don't want to be able to be, you don't get in trouble for that kind of stuff, and you don't want, but you do have to have the guts to get there and say, hey, we're doing this now. If you want to kiss me, we're gonna kiss, because you don't want to kiss me now, we're probably gonna do it later, because I'm gonna chicken out later on, you're gonna chicken out, and I don't want to do that. You gotta get up and do it.
Yeah, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. That's a good one.
Ain't nothing to it but to do it. That's a good one. Where'd that come from?
Oh, I had a coach say that. That was his classic. Oh, here's the gal from Police Academy, Marion Ramsey, right here. She's still going. She was born in 47. She's 73 years old. That was a great.
She's 73. That's her nowadays. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. She looks good. You gotta show a picture of her from way back when. She still looked pretty, but she was.
I'll grab that.
She's about 5'1", I think, probably.
Yeah, I'll grab a picture of that. There was a trailer there with Steve Guttenberg in it. I don't know. Maybe there's another Police Academy coming out. It's possible.
Was that Steve Guttenberg right there?
He was in that right there. Can you see it? Let me grab it. Yeah, Steve. There's a trailer that has Steve Guttenberg. Let me pick that up.
Is it Police Academy? You got to be kidding me.
Makes me wonder. Look, trailer.
That's Steve. Oh my gosh, it is Steve Guttenberg.
She died this year, sadly, on January 27th. Oh, that's terrible. Let's try to watch this trailer of Gutenberg and see if we get blocked.
Well, it's a trailer. It should be okay, I think. I'm not sure that works.
really weird to see another police academy, but maybe this is it's called Lava Lantula. It's his new movie, so we'll
Yeah, I
scratch.
think actually we probably could get blocked, so we probably won't do that because,
Oh, it's oh, it looks like a crappy new movie.
well, I wouldn't, and I love Steve Gutenberg, great guy. Seemed like a nice guy and funny
Yeah,
guy, but
yeah, I shouldn't
uh,
say crappy, but
it's a
it
B-rated
doesn't look
movie.
interesting. But yeah, she was great. She went from nowhere, not even be able to talk at all, was going to get knocked out of the police academy, and then she was a hero at the end. So that was
Yeah,
cool.
she was a hero, and her and Bubba Smith.
Yes, the big
Yeah,
guy. He was a big dude, man. He was a great football player too.
yeah, Bubba Smith was a big dude. He definitely, and yeah, it's because if I remember correctly, she drove around like she was just singing the song and quiet driving and stuff, and then Bubba came up and when she got yelled at, I think I think I think
Oh, they
they,
said bad things.
they said bad things. They called her a bad name, and I
Yeah,
think he went down and flipped the car over on the side.
yeah.
Bubba, yeah,
That's why he got kicked out of the academy, but he came
yeah.
back and became the hero. So it was kind
Well,
of
which is funny because nowadays, for that captain saying those words to her,
oh yeah,
she'd own the academy. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's just like, certain things, racist stuff that doesn't fly no matter what it is. And I make off color jokes now and again. I don't mean to, but that's just apparently the way I was. But I'm not racist at all, and it's just stupid sometimes, I guess. But no, racism was a lot more prevalent back in the day, and we didn't even. Well, actually, it kind of sticks out more days when you see it because it's so different, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it was blatant in that one, but it was part of the character. He had to do that to get Bubba mad enough to beat him
Oh
up.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
here's
It wasn't. Yeah, it was part of the thing, but that's
Laverne
what
Hooks.
Laverne Hooks. Hooks, yeah,
Yeah,
Hooks. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
and
funny.
that one right there, he was trying, couldn't hear her. That was good stuff.
I'm gonna hear that again. Say that again. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
good. Yeah,
was good.
yeah. Police Academy. Love that show.
Yeah,
That's just a classic.
we watched it within the last month. It was pretty good. I had fun with it. It's better than I thought. A little grittier, actually. A little grittier than I thought.
Yeah, and well, I the '80s had a lot of just nudity for certain reasons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, they had yeah, yeah. I enjoyed those as a kid. I tell you, it was like, oh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, they had.
Porky's probably you probably like Porky's.
Oh, I grew up. That's how I grew up, man. I grew up in that era of Porky's and Police Academy and uh, Last American Virgin and My Tutor and or whatever,
Oh
all
yeah.
those '80s movies are just like, oh, made the young man's heart sing loudly. We'll
There
say
was a
that.
real bad one called The Jock. I don't know if you ever saw that. I think
The John. I don't remember that one. I
yeah,
remember.
he was a kid from that had lived
I,
in Longview. His name was Scott Strader. He was in a couple movies. He was from Kelso, Longview area, and he went off early '80s and did a couple movies. Became friends with Jack Nicholson and stuff. Played tennis with him. He's a tennis guy.
Scott Strader.
Scott Strader, yeah, he's a cousin of the Kelso Straders, but he went there and he was a tennis guy was his big thing and acting. And he was in Jock. It was terrible. And he moved off of that, but he played tennis with Jack Nicholson. So that was cool.
Huh.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's a bucket list right there.
Well, I might be able to play tennis with Jack Nicholson right now. No,
Yeah.
I bet he's still pretty fiery, I'm sure.
He seems to be, I think he's in his 80s now. I think he's 80.
Yeah. Yeah, Jack Nicholson's probably one of my favorite actors of all times. Most definitely. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
and, it's funny. I mean, every once in a while, I don't even like that show too much because of the content, but A Few Good Men. I don't. The reason why, because my dad
I
was a
love
Marine.
that.
I love it. I love the movie too, but my dad was a Marine, so kind of the content just kind of hits me a little wrong a little bit, But Jack Nicholson's when you watch him actually play that out, that scene in the hotel, in the courtroom. I mean, that courtroom scene is just redonkulous. It's just crazy
Yeah,
perfect.
that's one of the best scenes ever in a movie.
It is, because my dad, being a Marine, that's something that, you see that and you just go, that is a Marine coming across. He's going to come across the table at you in about 2 seconds if you don't
Yeah.
shut up. He just nailed it really, really well.
Well, we knew something was going to happen at the end of that. It was going to be Sparks. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and you got to give that to Tom Cruise too, because Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even like his character in that really, but he did such a great job of being the antagonist and pulling that out of Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
But
Kevin Pollak was the assistant, that little guy, the funny guy. He was good too. There were a lot of good. Kevin Bacon was in it.
Kevin Bacon, yeah, there you go. Yeah, 6
Kiefer
Degrees, Kevin Bacon.
Kiefer Sutherland too, I think. He testified.
Yes, he testified.
Yeah, he was like a real hard ass soldier, because Kevin Bacon was the lawyer against Cruise.
And Demi Moore, right?
Yeah, Demi Moore. I don't remember much from her on that one.
She was the assistant counselor.
Yeah, I also
wasn't she?
Kind of,
am I crazy?
Yeah, she was involved. I felt like it was just an extra character thrown in. They didn't develop her at all. They could have lived without it, I think. Nothing against her, but it was just too many, because she had that little guy, or he had the little guy assistant that had been bullied as a kid. That was enough right there. You didn't need the third person.
Well, you didn't, except for the fact that you throw the beauty in there. You at the time she was top of the list, right? Yeah. What was that one? Yeah. I can't remember who all was in that movie, but
Kevin Bacon, Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
Young guys, I didn't know the young guys too well. The
young guy, by the way, we talk about boxing movies. He was in Southpaw. Was it Southpaw?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was Southpaw. So. Yeah, he was. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that guy, by the way. He was a good actor, I thought. And then the guys who, because he was kind of the dumb one who's like, we're not in trouble, are we so and so? He kept saying like he was just a nice guy, but very dim-witted for a Marine.
Well, like that character I was talking about, he's kind of dim-witted, supposedly. Yeah, that guy was he was in over his head, that character. Mm-hmm. The kids all were, the 3 Marines, they were just in over their head, and
well, Marines in general, not just Marines, people in the service in general. We get them. My grandfather went in when he was 15 years old. You talk about somebody over their head. Oh my gosh. And then we have kids that come in, they're 18 years old, and you always hear this thing that they're not even allowed to drink in America, but they're allowed to go and die for our country. So that's kind of weird. And it seems to me that if we're not allowing people to make changes to their bodies until they're 21, 25, actually, whatever, because of they say the age of 25 when your brain is fully gets developed. So in theory, your military term should start when you're like 25. Go in when you're 24. Versus 18 when you're so. But they want to meld you. They want to put everybody together and make them exactly the same. They want you. Yeah. They want to. They're trying to build you to be a piece of the armor machinery.
Yeah,
and that's why I take everybody down to the same level, to the same, basically. So everybody starts from scratch. They, do whatever they have to do, and then build you up from there. So I understand that, but I think as far as the age goes, they should start probably at 21.
Well, that's why leadership's so important, and Nicholson failed as a leader, and so that's why he was taken down.
Yeah.
He had everybody's respect in the troops, but he took it too far.
Yeah.
The best part to me was when Cruise got to him. He was just Cruise's character was such a good young lawyer, but trying to prove himself for past mistakes, impress his dad. It was wild.
Yeah.
I actually thought Cruise was at his level, at Nicholson's level. It was great.
Yeah, I just didn't like his character when
Yeah.
he was. I like I said, I don't know. I'm a come from a military family. I'm not military myself, but my dad being the Marines and stuff, and I don't like anything to disrespect the military. And he wasn't disrespecting him, but it's like at all. But it's like he was. I don't know. It's just weird.
But
I don't like anything.
he was respecting the military because he was trying to get to the truth. Whether
Yeah, he was respecting America, but disrespecting the military is what I thought.
well, he was disrespecting Nicholson, the character, not the military, but the guy himself mostly. A little bit, he had a little edge against the military, a little chip on his shoulder, something about his dad, but it didn't even matter the whole backstory. It all mattered was that
The
final
truth.
court scene. That court scene with that
The whole thing was about the truth.
yeah.
You want to know the truth? I'll give you the truth.
You
Yeah.
want the truth?
You can't handle the truth. That's what he says. Right.
You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
That's the line, and it's true. But it's so hard, and I'll be honest, it's hard to figure out where that line really is with life, because we do need people who are stronger than they need to be.
Oh
sometimes.
yeah, we need people on that wall.
We need
Everything
people on that
Nicholson,
wall.
said.
You want him on that wall.
Yeah,
You need him on that wall.
You want me on that wall, he said. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. Play, things you don't talk about at parties. You want me on that wall. The problem was he was telling the truth about all that, but
He was. That's the whole thing.
None of that mattered. It was all about, did he call for that code red or whatever?
That's the
he
legalities.
was he the good guy or the bad guy? It came down to that one question, and Cruz badgered it out of him.
Yeah, and that's when it comes to, like, you're in the courtroom. Yeah, the guy just admitted to some guy dying because of what you did. So
yeah,
what you caused that red. What was that called? Code red.
Yeah, I want him on that wall. I just don't want him killing his own guys and lying about it. That's all.
Yeah, but there's things like the torture stuff in the military and that the waterboarding. Yeah, we don't want that stuff in life. We don't want that stuff at all.
Yeah.
But you want someone on that wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want somebody who's willing to go there if need be. I don't know. It's like, I think it was Jack Nicholson's 24. If you ever watched 24, that was a great show. It was out like probably 15 years ago, whatever.
Kiefer Sutherland?
Kiefer Sutherland, yeah.
Was Jack Nicholson in that?
No, Jack Nicholson was not, but Kiefer Sutherland was in 24, and basically he is an agent, type of thing, where he'll do anything. And give me 1 second. I'm gonna find another.
Did it all take place in one day? The whole season was one day or something?
Yeah, at 24 hours. But it was literally what minute by minute, dink, dink, dink.
Yeah,
it was
I remember
crazy.
that. I watched
one
episode.
There is a movie I'm going to tell you about here in about 2 seconds. When I can find the right one, it is Samuel Jackson movie, the military one, and it is. Give me 1 second there, my friend. Keep busy because I've got to. Shoot, I'm gonna find this thing here because it is. It was. The movie is about doing what you don't want to do.
That's pretty specific.
I know. I'm trying to get
the movie up here. It's about doing something you don't want to do. It's classic.
I'm sorry. Trying to find it.
Update everybody. You can go to Lonnie's Facebook, but he can't respond. Fundraiser 6 days ago. And it looks like we're having trouble playing our old Friday Night Live. Learn more. Let's find out why the trouble, folks. Technical problems are very prominent in the internet for especially old people.
Apparently for me, for certain.
Right now, we're lumping you in as an old person. Anybody over 40 can't view or play videos. Yeah, so we'll have to figure that one out. We don't want that.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Let me go back here. Yeah, so
Okay, this movie is
hear about this movie.
if you ever find it, I'll tell you, I can't even get on
What's
on
it
my
about?
computer. That's okay. Well, it's a movie about I think it's called Unthinkable. I'm almost certain. I can't find it right now, but I think
Unthinkable.
yeah, I think it's called Unthinkable. I'm almost certain. I just can't think about it because I think it's
What's it about?
it is doing the unthinkable, and it is he's hired to do the unthinkable. And when I say the unthinkable, um, he does whatever it takes, and that's his job.
Oh wow.
Do you find it on there? Look up Unthinkable. I think that's what it's called. I can't find it.
Unthinkable. Let me see. I will look for unthinkable here.
Yeah, no. So in that movie, a very good movie, by the way, but it makes you think about, well, how far would you go? How
Yeah.
far would you go to find the truth? You know,
Oh
how
yeah.
far would you go for if if you if you think this person is going to hurt your child, how far would you go?
Yeah.
If you think this person is going to, drop a bomb off at a school, how far would you go? If somebody's going to drop off a nuclear bomb inside a mall or inside Seattle, how far would you go to get the resolve? To
Yeah.
find out. And it may not be right. You may be wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You may be wrong, but how far would you be willing to find out?
Yeah. It's like, how far would you be willing to go to get back into your Facebook account? Now,
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there, baby. How far will I go? Well, that's what this movie's about. It's just how far will you go to get back into your yeah, that's a good freaking movie. Actually, you should watch it as a man, Brian. And
what's
it's
about
just
the woman from the Matrix? She's in it too. Carrie Ann Moss is in it with him too.
oh, I didn't realize that. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it, but
Now, of course, he wasn't in the Matrix, but she
can
was.
you click on the button down below or the picture down below? It says it has a picture of her, I think, and him. There you go.
This one,
Yeah.
unthinkable. Wow. Oh, and Michael Sheen, the English guy, I think he's good.
Oh yeah, that's all. Yeah, I remember her now. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie, and
When did it come out?
probably 15 years ago.
Okay, here's another one called The Unthinkable, but that's not what you want.
No, we want the other one.
Unthinkable.
Yeah, Unthinkable.
Look at another Unthinkable with Nicolas Cage.
Well, yeah, I think that one in particular
Wow.
was as impensable, unthinkable, impensable. I never saw the impensable part before, but
I don't know what that means. That ruins it for me.
yeah, it's unthinkable. But you could that's how you can distinguish between the two of them, I guess.
Well, maybe impensable is some foreign word. I've never heard impensable. Have you ever heard that?
No, I think it's unthinkable. I think it's just it's the word unthinkable in a different language. You're probably right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure what year that came out. But that's a really good one, and it will make you think. Oddly enough, unthinkable will make you think about how far you'd go for something.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's one of those would you sell your soul type of thing if you thought the nation was going to burn down type. That's kind of it. You know what I mean? Because like
I'd have to say sorry, nation. Sorry.
yeah. But if you do you put that in there, it's like, well, would I be willing to punch somebody? Well, it's like kind of like this. In high school, I got in a car with about three older guys, 3 or 4 old, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 older guys, and we were just digging around on a Friday night. And I was a freshman, they were like juniors, and they decided to get in a fight. And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't plan on getting in a fight that night. They wanted to go get a fight with somebody, whatever. And they get in this car, and they start flipping everybody off. And then a car comes after us. And I'm like, that's not good. They chased around. We're in this Camaro, and they're in some other car. They're in a beater car, actually. But all of a sudden, this beater car, these guys hop out, and it was like the biggest, baddest dudes from another high school, Mark Morris, actually.
Wow.
And they were seniors over there, and it was Andy Mason. Actually, you know who
Wow.
Andy Mason is. Yeah, it was him and a couple of his friends, and they were like going to kill us. That was my first meeting with Andy Mason at the time, and I think for sure. But yeah, they were all going to kill us. And these guys were the fullback and all the big buff dudes, bodybuilders out of the other high school, and they wanted to kill us, man. And my guys were just jackwads. They were just idiots wanting to have some fun. They just, and anyways, these guys trying to literally hold the car by their arms and stuff, and hold the Camaro back from taking off. It was pretty funny, but still, we're in this. We're actually in the intersection by North Lake High School over there by your old house there.
Oh,
And
North
these
Lake
guys are
Elementary.
North Lake Elementary, and these guys are just like, we're going to kill you, and they're screaming at us how much they're going to kill us, And this guy says, Andy Mason, actually, he goes to me, he says, I'm going to kill you. I said, he ain't talking to me, because I didn't do that. He goes, well, who's the asshole that flipped me off? Yada yada. And I said, well, it's this guy, not me. And he goes, well, if he's such an asshole, why don't you hit him? I'm like, and he goes, no, hit him. And I'm like, okay, clock. I clocked the guy next to me. He was his fault to begin with, but
Yeah, that's a good one.
yeah. I pretty much beat my buddy up inside the car just because I was like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
ain't gonna fight these guys at the moment, because they were way meaner and tougher than the guys in the car was.
You're
So
willing to do the impensable.
I was willing to do the impossible. I'm
Looked
like,
it up. It just means unthinkable. So that's a little French translation, probably. For
yeah,
the
probably that was it.
French
But yeah, did you see what
version.
year it was?
No, I'll check that out. So, when did you watch it?
When it came out years ago, I'm not sure, but
Yeah, let me look it up.
I would say probably 10 years ago.
Huh. I'll look that one up. Unthinkable. There's like 3 of them, but you like the Samuel Jackson version.
Yeah, I've never seen the other ones, never heard of them before. So
Well, the one has Nicolas Cage, so it's going to be weird. We just know them.
yes, we do. No, I think that not there's anything wrong with Nicolas Cage. He's cool. Nicolas Cage is cool. He just
Oh, he's
not quite.
Them, but he does some of the wackiest stuff. Unthinkable 2010 with Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
11 years old.
I said 10 years. Look at that. Hey, look at me. I'm smart.
Oh,
I smart like that. Actually, it's 11 years old, so I'm not that smart. Jeez.
well, heading into 11. It hasn't turned 11 yet, probably, but like a kid says, I'm 10 going on 11.
Right. I'm 11 going on 10. Yeah, for sure.
Then you get to a certain age and you don't do that. You don't say you're 47 going on 48. You don't want to.
I'm 47 going on 35. Right.
61, formerly 45 or whatever. Go formerly. I'm 47, formerly 22.
I like that. That's not bad.
Yeah, let's go back. Jeez.
Formerly known as the age of 22. Yeah. No.
Yeah, you don't want to say Joe Biden going on 79.
Right. No. Right. I don't know. I'll tell you what.
Never say a woman's age. Never mention it. Never talk about it in any forum anywhere. Just avoid women's age. That's just a rule.
I have a tendency to yeah, I'm not
Never.
talk about, I don't talk about women's age, although it surprises me.
You never say to a woman, well, how old are you? You just don't do it. Just avoid it now. Just don't do it.
How young are you? It doesn't matter no matter what you say. It's not gonna
talk about
but
anything else.
I automatically assume they're 39 for the most part, unless of course they're 25 or 21. If they're under 25, then you can pretty much
Yeah.
whatever. Everybody wants to be a little bit older when they're younger. Everybody wants to be younger when they're older. So
There you go. The
yeah,
grass is greener, as they say.
yeah, because I would take a guess and say that you, if you're listening right now, you're probably
Yeah.
39, 39, and I appreciate that. It's a good.
Sunlight.
Yeah, sunlight on my shoulders, make me.
We're at an hour now, or about it.
We're almost an hour. I think about 45, 55 minutes, but that's okay.
10:04 and we started almost on time. We got on right at 9:02 and it's 10:04 now.
Oh, 10:04. Okay, well, let's pound this out then. And then I'll talk to you in a little bit here.
Discussion on a Sunday. Ready?
On
Go.
Sunday, yep.
Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I got you good.
You did. Wow, wow, wow. Look at that.
Wow. All right. Well, that was a great one. I got to head to the back
Head to the
40.
head. Head to the head. Okay, well, are we stopped recording?
See you next time.
See ya.